Welcome back to the first watch. I appreciate y'all for coming through and rocking out with me. Next up, I got a couple of clips ranging from Snoop Dogg all the way to the Supreme Court. And yes, it is all relevant. I'm gonna try not to interrupt too much and just let the clips speak for themselves. Let's get right into it.
Actually, people upset with Snoop Dogg because he said he doesn't want his grandson being introduced to homosexuality in a Disney movie. Why are you mad? If you're really upset about the whole Snoop Dogg situation, I'm staying far away from you because obviously you're a weirdo. Kids should not know about sex. I thought everybody knew that. Apparently not.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise. We got to talk about it, man. Snoop Dogg is being canceled. Snoop Dogg is, he is in the crosshairs of the left right now, and people are upset that he said this.
I took my grandson to see, what was the movie with Buzz Lightyear?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
With Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she and she had a baby. They both women. How does she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, it's fuck me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
Okay, we're gay, but we're in Barnes & Nobles, and there's a kids book section, a gay kids book section, and this shit is crazy. Look at this. Okay, there's the gay BCs, right? Bye-bye binary. Bye-bye binary with a mohawk on a baby. Gay BCs, you're not ready. We'll take Tio and Tio. That looks nice.
What the hell's going on here?
My recent rating of the gay BCs has ruffled a lot of feathers, so let's get into it. The number one question I've been getting is why?
Exactly.
Why would you read this to a child who's not going to be experiencing romantic love or desire for a very long time? Well, let's talk about it.
How about no?
First of all, yes, it does use identity terms like aro, ace, and bi. But it also uses words like family, equality, hope, and joy. These are very simple definitions, one or two sentences, and you can take a very complex idea and say, joy feels like when you sing, dance, and play. Or what does a family mean? Well, family can be related or found. And yes, while it does use words like bi, you might notice they drop the sexual, right? It's just bi instead of bisexual. So the word sexual is not even in the book. And
Shut up, fool!
so if a child, say, is approached by another one and said, why do you have two moms? Why your mom's lesbian? Well, the world's definition is not always as kind and affirming as it's love and affection between two special girls who share a connection.
What?
There are also children who say maybe born intersex, which is defined in this book as some are born with different parts and every body is an amazing work of art.
This is getting out of hand.
There are also maybe children like mine that have a trans parent. And
that's enough.
And this one is kind of difficult. And I hate that you even have to give a disclaimer that I don't care that you're gay. I don't care that you want to wear a dress and you're a guy. I don't care if you want to put on the tightest sports bra and sag your pants and wear your ball cap to the back. I don't care about none of that. That's perfectly fine. That's your choice as an adult. But when you messing with the minds of these kids, man, before they even get a chance to experience puberty, like this is in middle school and in some cases kindergarten. In some of these cases, this is out of control. And how are trans people even having kids? How is this a thing? Like, are they adopting these kids? Are they making pacts with each other, like a trans dude and a trans girl, whichever is which, make a pact with each other and they artificially inseminate? Do they do the do one last time just in the name of creation? Who paid child support? I'm so confused. I'm so confused.
And they're going after your children. Let me show y'all this.
Supreme Court's oral argument, we kind of expected this ultimate resolution, but the Supreme Court here held that parents in Montgomery County who are from religiously diverse backgrounds, Muslim, Catholic, Orthodox, are likely to succeed on their claim that MCPS's no opt-out policy for their elementary school children to receive instruction involving LGBTQ-themed books likely violates their religious freedom. The parents, again of different religious backgrounds, had argued that the no opt-out policy impinged on their ability to teach their children about gender and sexuality in accordance with their religious beliefs, and not allowing them to opt out of that instruction, particularly for their elementary school children, violated their First Amendment right to freely exercise their religion. The Supreme Court today, in an opinion that was delivered by Justice Samuel Alito, it was 6-3 along ideological lines, the Supreme Court said that they're likely to succeed in that argument that the no opt-out policy violates their religious freedom. And Alito writes briefly in the opinion, we've long recognized the rights of parents to direct the religious upbringing of their children, and we've held that those rights are violated by government policies that substantially interferes with the religious development of children. Now, again, I said this decision was 6-3. The court's liberal justices, led by Justice Sonia Sotomayor, dissent in this case. And Justice Sotomayor says that the reverberations of the court's error will be felt for generations. Unable to condone this grave misjudgment, she dissents, omitting the typically included respectfully dissents there. And what Justice Sonia Sotomayor is saying is that children, for a long time, public schools have been responsible for educating the nation's children, and that they offer children of all faith and backgrounds education, and that experience is critical to the nation's civic vitality, including exposing children to religious differences and people who believe differently.
A sharp divide of opinions in the wake of a Supreme Court ruling siding with parents in a Washington, D.C. school district who wanted to opt out their elementary school children from engaging with LGBTQ books in the classroom. Lakeside Union School Board member Andrew Hayes authored the Parents' Bill of Rights, which went into effect last year. Included in the policy, parents' ability to opt their children out of topics they deemed inappropriate. He lauded the High Court decision.
Parents have a fundamental right to direct the education of their kids. These controversial issues are not and should not be the focus of our school.
My man.
LGBT advocate and social worker Brittany Fuller is creator of the Pride Fence outside her Scripps Ranch home. Her children's book, Beyond the Rainbow Fence, is due out later this year.
That's weird.
She says the decision sends a message that LGBT topics can be disregarded.
It's using their parental choice as a means to silence an entire group of people and act as though they don't exist.
What?
State law mandates LGBTQ inclusive instruction in classrooms. Fuller fears opt-outs will lead to fewer inclusive offerings, less visibility for LGBT students, and less overall awareness. The scenario is one Hayes rejects. He says parental choice will ultimately be good for students and the quality of education.
Yeah, so this is Vanessa Atterbury, Democrat, and Chris Fair, Democrat. These are the people that sponsor this bill that would not allow your children to opt out.
I gotta say it, bro. Look at this dude. Look at him. Out of all the pictures that he took, this is the best one for his profile picture. He looked like Chester. And this the dude y'all got writing the laws for your children. That guy.
Alphabet community teachings in public school.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Weichbrot. I'm a mom of 2 in Fairfax County. This is my oldest. And my husband and I have a difficult decision to make this fall as he is approaching preschool age, and we are faced with the decision of whether or not we are going to put our child in public school system where Fairfax County has decided to move forward with instituting gender studies in elementary school. Despite having done a study group, a focus group in the community to see if parents even wanted this. And when parents said no, the board voted 16-0 and said we're moving forward anyways. This shows clearly that they see parents not as partners, but as an obstacle for their agenda. And I have a really hard time looking at him and going, here, I'm just going to give you over to people who do not want to partner with me in how you're going to be raised. School and education is a huge part of a child's life. And early childhood is supposed to be filled with exploration and creativity and fun, not debating issues that are for adults to handle. These kinds of topics should be introduced sensitively and by parents who are raising their children with their values, not with an ideology passed down from the top.
You go, girl, you rock that big forehead.
That Montgomery County parents who wish to opt their students out of those LGBTQ plus themes will have the ability to do so. This comes after educational leaders were working to try to create more of an inclusive curriculum to reflect those that they serve. The Supreme Court handing down a major win for Montgomery County parents seeking to opt their elementary students out of LGBTQ plus lessons. Today, in a 6-3 vote, the conservative majority ruling in favor of parents who said Montgomery County Public Schools' policy to not offer an opt-out option for elementary students violated their religious freedom under the First Amendment.
You don't have a right to decide how your kids are raised. I have God given right.
What did he say?
Constitutional right to decide how my kids are raised, what they are taught.
What?
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
In 2023, News 4 spoke with MCPS parents who were fighting to ensure the policy included an opt-out option after a federal judge denied an injunction to allow parents to opt their children out of lessons involving LGBTQ plus themes.
I have a right to shape their moral compass, not the school.
Those thoughts fell on the heels of Montgomery County Public Schools' decision to revise the language arts curriculum, seeking to include diverse voices for elementary students that included LGBTQ storybooks and elements.
That nigga's tripping.
The High Court's majority opinion, Justice Alito wrote, quote, "We hold that the board's introduction of the LGBTQ plus inclusive storybooks, combined with its decision to withhold notice to parents and to forbid opt-outs, substantially interferes with the religious development of their children and imposes the kind of burden on religious exercise that Yoder found."
Our future is not up for debate, and our history is under attack by all these different institutions, and that is our responsibility as the next generation to fight back.
Oh, what a loser!
LGBTQ plus advocates showed up to the Supreme Court after the decision. They spoke about what this means for future generations.
Absolutely damaging for LGBTQ youth going forward, because if you don't see yourself in materials and you don't see yourself actually in curriculum and being represented, it makes it feel like you're not even there.
Is that? Oh shit, what is that? Who you fighting?
County Public Schools issued this statement that reads in part, "Today's decision is not the outcome we hope for or work toward. It marks a significant challenge for public education nationwide. In Montgomery County Public Schools, we will determine the next steps and navigate this moment with integrity and purpose, guided as always by our shared values of learning, relationships, respect, excellence, and equity."
Now, next is the most extreme of these cases where confusion turns into abuse. And whether that's drug abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, and that abuse turns into hate. And that hate turns into hate of others, or hate itself, combination of both. And then you get tragedies like this.
When do you think society is going to wake up and say enough is enough?
You would think it would have been a long time ago. Jesse, I lived in Connecticut during that Sandy Hook shooting. It took place about an hour from my house, and I'll never forget that moment. I think all of us will unfortunately remember that. And if that wasn't the moment to say, okay, we've got to do something, then I don't know what is. Today is another reminder to me that, frankly, it's even bigger than the trans issue in my mind, Jesse. This is about evil. This is about good versus evil, and it's obviously that there's evil in the hearts of these people who are choosing to go in, premeditated, and go in and kill young children, kill people. Aside from that, it's mental health, right? Anybody who wants to go do something like this has issues, has problems, and there's no way those problems just surfaced today before the shooting. We saw the videos online. I forced myself to watch the 11-minute clip that was put out on X, and when you see him fumbling through dozens and dozens of bullets and guns and magazines, and of course the letter that he wrote, mental health issues that the adults in the room, whether it's mothers, fathers, siblings, teachers, employers, have chosen to ignore for many reasons probably, but I would say, number one, because of the fear that's been instilled in them to have these conversations with these kids. Obviously, the trans issue, to me, is a mental health issue as well. All these things combined have led to another terrible day like today, but it is rooted in evil.
Yeah, I saw the devil when I watched this video. I've never seen a more despicable human being watching this video. He's caressing bullets. The things that he talks about are just grotesque. And the kind of glee, the giggling, is diabolical. And the fact that this guy was cruising through life, he has parents, he may have colleagues, he has neighbors. No one noticed that the devil was living right next door. That's insane to be. Where are we here?
Yeah, and again, I go back to 2012 because as soon as this happened today, I thought of the shooter there, and Adam Lanza, who ended up, if you recall, he killed his mother before he went over to Sandy Hook School and shot up all those kids and took those innocent lives. And he had a long history of mental health issues. The mother had an affinity for guns and legally had all of them, but she kept them out knowing that her son had these mental health issues. So it does start at home. It does start with the parents, then anybody else who notices it. As heartbreaking as it is to be a whistleblower on a loved one, don't we have an obligation to do that? Not just for you and your family, but for everybody in society? I'm heartbroken over it, as I know all of your viewers are as well. But we have to be accountable. And yes, the hatred that is being spewed by our leaders, by the Tim Waltzes of the world, the Governor Waltz there in Minneapolis, who also not only makes it a safe haven for transgender people, that's wonderful, but let's focus on their mental health. Also a city that tried to defund the police. So there's a lot going on up there. It doesn't matter where it happens, though. The evil is there. The darkness is there. The mental health issues are there. I believe, like you, it's not about the guns. It starts here and with adults and friends and everybody choosing to ignore. And now look.
Yeah, the family's the first line of defense. So we have to have a full investigation. Sage Steele, thank you so much on this tragic night.
Stop it! Put the crazy down!
Stop talking, really bad stuff starts. When marriages stop talking, divorce happens. When civilization stop talking, civil war ensues. When you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to want to commit violence against that group. What we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have a reasonable disagreement where violence is not an option.